Okay, I'm going to do a future video on the health benefits of quinoa. But a lot of people ask, in addition to, trying to say it, quinoa. Here we have quinoa, and here we have steak meat. Okay, we have a whole cut onion and red pepper and a can of diced tomatoes and some spices straight from India, and a little bit of that, as well as some habanero. Habanero is also very healthy. So primarily with regards to health benefits, this is really good for the brain. This has a high amount of protein. It has more protein than most other non-meat products. It's obviously gluten-free. So, if there are periods where, say I have a six-pack and I don't eat that night, right? Maybe I'll inhale a pack of American Spirits, right? My body won't get the rest that it needs. And so when I eat something like quinoa, and meat, of course, but even just quinoa by itself or quinoa with eggs, which isn't bad. It's really just a matter of flavoring the quinoa. So a lot of people ask, well, what do you eat quinoa with? I mean, there's a quinoa cookbook that I had at one point. I just gave it away. But you can take a look online. There's quinoa in salads. There's like the cold quinoa. But I really like quinoa as a substitute. So instead of rice, which doesn't have a great amount of nutrition, you have quinoa. This is the pot that I cooked it in. I'm going to show you now. You've seen it before in other videos. This goes for $16 on eBay. And I don't eat quinoa full time. I should. Especially if you can get it that cheap. So I need to order another 5-pound bag for 16 bucks. We'll see if it's still at that price. This is organic. I think I have another quinoa bag here somewhere. Let me look. Oh, it's here. It's hiding. It doesn't want to be consumed yet. Here we go. So this is not organic, but this was on sale for like $3. So this is 1 pound of quinoa. And so no, it's not a large bag, but you get a yield. You get a good yield. So I've said for years, when it comes to survival preparedness, quinoa should be at the top of your list. If you can get over the fact that it sounds funny, a lot of people, I think it's the cultural programming, and for some reason it seems like I'm not as susceptible as, so what if I can't enunciate it? Is it good? I have just seen people mindfuck the enunciation of quinoa, and I find it to be really weird behavior. So, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings if that applies to you. If that does apply to you, you may be heavily indoctrinated by this system, by the English language, by things that sound normal and smell normal and taste normal. I need to tell you this. I've had an abnormally high amount of people ask me how you cook it. It's just like rice, dude. It's just, yeah. Going back to the quinoa, you can look at something and see that it's millet-like and go, oh, you probably boil it. You probably don't eat it like an actual bird would. I'm just saying. So out here, right, this is my garden area. It will be a future garden. I don't know how quinoa would grow here. You can type in quinoa on my channel and check out the test garden that I did in Trinidad, Colorado, because I actually did grow a backyard full of quinoa. But I ended up leaving. That was a temporary stay there, and the grasshoppers went to town on it. From what I understand, you can get the seed ideal for farming, which costs a lot more. Ernie in the San Luis Valley has seeds, you can say, calibrated or climatized for this region. And I don't know how much of Colorado and perhaps other states would be able to grow quinoa. I think that people should try. I think that the weather's changing. I think that the planet's changing. So certain things that we did in the past may not be exact or, right on the mark. The planet, I think the planet's moving on its axis. In fact, this is a scientific fact. But it's almost as if I can feel it. What I'm saying is, with that, changes come to climate, to the types of things that you can grow, to the amount of rainfall. And I really wanted to see this, quinoa in particular, grown in the San Luis Valley because this doesn't need a lot of water to grow. I guess it needs some water at the initial stage and towards the end. That's what I was told by Ernie. And so, whether you're thinking about something new to grow, or you're thinking about survival preparedness, if there was only 10 things, wrapping up my thoughts here, Google health benefits of quinoa for specifics. Quinoa would be one of the first things that I go for. Of course, other things are important as well. Here is a full bag of chia seeds. And the Aztec warriors were said to have gone on their runs, their raids, whatever they did back then, with like a bag that they carried full of chia seeds. It was their primary sustenance. It was the one food that they took. Of course, there's things like wheat. There's things like growing food and having chickens. Maybe I'll get to something like chickens later on. But it's one thing at a time. So there's survival preparedness, and there's having a garden. This world's getting pretty turbulent. You should start thinking about being mindfully prepared, whether you're being living in an urban environment or rural off the grid.